You know the absolute last place where political correctness should ever be in play? War.
That's absolutely correct. Because
I'm
second
sorry,
place is a body bag.
Yeah, no one gives a shit about your feelings
That's right.
when you're at war.
Nope.
So why the hell are we training people who are supposed to go off to war to respect your feelings? The war on the West is no longer about men or women. It's about the ideological subversion of Western minds by foreign actors cloaked in a public relations friendly outfit called feminism. Join the fight against the destabilization of our very civilization by reading Surviving Fourth Wave Feminism. Learn some inconvenient truths by clicking on the link in the description, because every time you do, a pansexual non-binary socialist cries. What's up, you wakey McFarts in his sleep and accidentally shits? I'm Blake, and this is Popp. And this is another Ride and Roast with two Richards in a car.
And this one's going to get me spun up, so get ready.
This one was sent to us by a fan named, I shit you not, Riggs!
Riggs! Better not be the same guy.
He's still alive! He's got the super gonorrhea.
He's got to be dead by now.
But he's still alive.
Got to be dead by now. I just can't envision anybody like...
As many times as he raw dogged it and got syphilis and God knows whatever else.
I don't know what
I mean, how many times did he do sick call for VD?
Well, while he was in my squad, after he caught the syphilis, they transferred him somewhere else. So he did 6 times.
Yeah, this is a syphilis-free zone. You need to go over here. All these guys have had the syphilis before. We'll put you all together. It'll be like Tuskegee all over again.
I don't know what happened to him. They might have chaptered him out of the military for failure to adapt or something. Back then, if you were a problem child, your commander can send you to the re-education camp. You don't want to, I saw what goes on in that Whip Me Spank Me camp. You don't want none of that, man. You do not want that.
I don't know, maybe Briggs is into that. I don't know.
Oh, I remember I walked by there and I looked through the fence, and there's guys filling sandbags, carrying them across the compound, and then dumping out the sand. And I shit you not, there's guys on the other side filling up sandbags and then walking across the compound and dumping it out. They're literally moving these piles of sand. And they were cutting up wood, carrying telephone poles around. I mean, it was just horrific. It was horrific. I'm like, oh man, I don't want to go there. Oh shit.
But at least those guys would be tough. Unlike this shit.
I knew a guy named Furrow who went there for 4 months. He came back. He was an animal. It totally changed his life.
All right. I hope you guys are ready for this. Biden's new woke military has a model in Mao's China. Shocker.
All right, first of all...
Not like Beijing Biden has any familial or business ties over there.
Yeah, well...
Still...
that's bullshit.
After being duly elected during the ice cream social.
There's absolutely no reason to take on any lessons from the China's military.
No.
None whatsoever. They have nothing to offer when it comes to tactics and whatnot.
Didn't the Indians beat the shit out of them?
Well, there was a skirmish with the Indian army, and their soldiers did not do well. Yeah, they got thwarted.
Not only did we get our asses handed to us, but now our uniforms reek of curry. Son of a bitch.
Yeah, I'm serious. I just read about that several months back.
We need to have more of those sweet dumplings made of aborted fetuses and different people's organs.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm going to be honest. Like the military that I knew when I came in and the way it was when I retired,
not the same.
It's not the same. In fact,
it's become a politically correct shit show.
Yeah, it's a shit show now. Oh, and I found out why all these women made it through Ranger School and those Special Forces schools and shit. They take out all of the stuff where those women can get hurt.
Which is probably most of it.
Well, no, like in Ranger School, they used to have, 2 days of hand-to-hand combat.
Oh.
All right, so you're like literally.
Yeah, because you're never going to have to fight in the military or anything.
Oh no, but the hand-to-hand combat, man. When I did it, it was no joke. I mean, I literally got slammed in the ground probably 150 times in 2 days. You know, and you do the pugil fighting and oh man.
But they took all that out for women.
Took it all out. They took that out. They took a lot of the high-impact shit that were that would basically disqualify you if you couldn't take the pounding.
Yeah.
And I believe they got rid of the combat swim test. I mean, all the shit. They totally.
I mean, nothing takes a pounding like a pussy, but we're not talking about that right now.
So that and the fact that was one thing. And another thing is, like, when I went to Ranger School, the only time I ever went back to the barracks was when I was told to go back to the barracks. And we went there as a class. Women, they're allowed 4 hours of hygiene time every 72 hours. That is complete bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
So literally, these women...
But the Army's sexist.
Yeah,
right?
they would get put in trucks, taken back to the barracks where they could shower, shave, and clean themselves up, and then come back out to the field. And somehow that's the same thing as like going through. I mean, the Ranger School I went to, I would be hard pressed to see any woman make it. Any woman.
Well, I mean, bears do hunt fish. So I guess they're trying to reduce the vaginal sweat quota that might attract some stunning and brave bears of color to the scene.
Bars. Because, like, I was so emaciated in Ranger School.
I saw the picture.
My dick didn't even work. Miss America could have walked naked into the patrol base holding a coney dog, and I'd whip her ass for that coney dog. I had, like, no interest in anything but give me that fucking coney dog, bitch. Oh. I'm serious. Not kidding.
And with that being said,
all right,
we're going to talk about the woke military now.
Let's do it.
Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin is going to war against extremism. On Wednesday, Austin decreed that over the next 60 days, the entire U.S. Armed Forces must go through a stand-down period in order to address the supposed shadow army of fascists and racists who fill its ranks. Who all took the same oath, by the way.
Yeah, it's gonna blow up in their face bad. For a volunteer army.
Yeah.
They already have a hard time finding enough guys to volunteer to stay in the military.
Yep. Now they're going to try to be picky and choosy about that.
Good luck.
I don't see this going down a bad road at all.
No, it'd be totally fine. Stunning and brave.
Yeah. In the military, stand-down orders are commands to every unit in the armed forces to temporarily suspend normal operations and hold assemblies in order to address and discuss a specific issue. In 2013... Here we go. For instance, Defense Secretary Chuck Hagel ordered stand-downs across the globe in order to address sexual assault within the military.
Yeah, I remember that one. That was
Gee, I wonder who was president then.
Yeah, I remember that. That was complete bullshit.
The only times that we've had stand-downs in the past almost 8 years were during Democrat presidents addressing non-issues.
Well, they also used to do it for, like, suicide stuff. That
makes sense.
That's a huge thing.
That makes sense.
That's one of the main reasons why I made that one anti-suicide video.
Yeah.
How to not kill yourself. Which
YouTube took down for
gave us a strike for
condoning self-harm.
And did we get a strike for that?
Yes, the video was called How Not to Kill Yourself, and YouTube gave it a strike and took it down because it was promoting self-harm.
Such bullshit.
Wow. We are living in a bizarro world, man.
We're in clown world, man.
Garbage is money, men are women.
Wow.
And the military is standing down because of feelings.
Yeah. Like, for instance...
You're no longer allowed to have it. We're all about diversity, except diversity of thought.
I remember when they did, in 2013, they did the sexual harassment stand down, and they had like a couple of the company meetings and stuff, and I just stayed at my desk and did my work. And I remember the commander came in and
said, What a phenomenal waste of time.
He's just like, Sergeant Popp, what you doing? I'm like, We have reports that are due. I got this, and I'm getting all this stuff. We gotta go in there for the briefing. I'm like, oh, I signed in. My name is on the list, but I'm not sitting there and having somebody tell me how to not rape and sexually assault people.
Yeah, I think I already kind of know how to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a grown ass fucking man, and I have more important things to do. So, it is what it is. I didn't tell this to fuck off, but he didn't push the issue, and because I already signed in, and I was doing my work.
It's a phenomenal waste of time. It is a non-issue in the military.
I'm not sitting there for, what was it?
Because you notice it says schmexual asphalt.
It was an 8-hour block. It was like a whole day, and there was 6 or 7 speakers came in to talk about different things.
Yeah.
It's a whole fucking day.
It's a waste of time.
No, I remember.
Non-issue.
I had to consolidate all kinds of bullshit, put together PowerPoint slides.
Oh,
there's a thing called DTS when soldiers would travel.
Okay.
I had to fill that out, get all that squared away, put people in for orders. That's all. I mean, I don't have a whole day to sit around and put my thumb up my ass.
Yeah, get your thumb up your ass, getting lectured to.
Yeah, because the stuff still needs to get done.
Look, ass bags are gonna ass bag.
That's right.
Grapists going to grapefruit. Okay?
Yep.
It's already illegal. You can already get court-martialed for it. You can go to prison for it. We've been told from day one, from the time we are born as men, that girls are delicate flowers, treat them with kid gloves, respect them, only sleep with them when they give you permission to. That has been ingrained in our brain pan since we were kids. And people still do it. It's a fraction of a minority, but they still do it. So having a little class about respecting women's feelings, what good is it going to do? You're just reiterating shit that we've already had beaten into our skulls our entire lives.
That's right. And I'm telling you, if I sat in that whole day, if I had went to all those briefings, the shit would still, I needed to do would still, the hard times are there. I can't tell, you don't
get overtime in the military.
No, I can't tell the battalion commander, I'm sorry, I didn't make my report's not due because I was talking about somebody forcing his penis in some chick's vagina.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, fuck that.
They had to teach me how to not stick my dick where it doesn't belong. Yeah.
Yeah, it's stupid, and I'm not working till midnight.
Yeah.
After I get off to fucking do all the shit.
I mean, you have that 8-hour block, and then, you finish your work and you go back to the barracks. That night in the barracks, more cock! Oh, yeah, totally.
Listen, I'm going to be honest. There was a couple soldiers back in the day in the 414 Civil Affairs, female soldiers, who did that.
Oh, yeah. Let's celebrate this newfound bit of gender tolerance with an orgy.
Listen, I mean, literally, I pulled the male soldiers aside. I'm like, look, bro.
Be careful with these chicks.
I heard what's going on at the hotel where you guys are all at, and I don't want to. You better not participate in it. And again, or I'm gonna fuck you up.
No, you should not be cleaning your weapons together, touching your muzzles in the middle, if you know what I mean. No, or bayonets, if you prefer.
Dude, what I heard was just it was insane. And you know what? When I told I pulled all male soldiers aside, I said, if I hear you guys doing this shit again, I'm going to fuck you all up.
You're going to get your ass beat.
That shit stopped.
And you notice, too, that they say they're talking to address schmexual asphalting, not grapefruiting.
Yeah.
Because we all know that grapefruiting is not actually a problem. It's, at last crime report that I can remember, it's 23 for every 100,000, which is like less than 2. It's a fraction of a percent.
All the time I did in that military, I can't remember one instance of an actual beat down grapefruiting.
Yeah. Well, because they want to keep the problem going, so they had to redefine the language. It's more of that linguistic propaganda. So instead of grapefruiting, now we have schmexual asphalting, which has been diluted to the point where it can be staring at you, bumping into somebody, and accidentally, giving a little touch on the butt. Oh, that's assault. Oh my gosh! Now you need an 8-hour class and waste your entire workday. Oh, but you still got to do the work after we lecture you.
Yeah.
Give me a break.
No, I'm not. And most of the sexual assault stuff, it revolves around a woman trying to get out, she wants to be whatever.
Yeah.
And she sleeps with her NCOs in command or even commanding officers. And when they finally get called out, it's sexual assault.
Of course.
For everyone that was there except her.
Of course, yeah. And
I've seen that about 100 times.
She totally went there of her own free will and was probably
times.
engaged in it, completely consensual, but because she feels bad about it afterwards.
In New York, there was this E4 banging a battalion commander.
Oh, wow.
And, he, allowed her not to drill and paid her and falsify. I mean, he went down hard for this. And because the Army, once they start investigating shit...
So he was getting banged, but he went full retard in addition to...
yeah, he went full retard.
So he fucked himself.
Yeah, I had nothing to do with that.
Well, like we always say, the fucking you get is never worth the fucking you're going to get.
But the NCO that I worked with, senior NCO, he was there for that craziness. And I'll be honest, I mean, if I run into that, in the civilian world, I run into that guy, I might have to monkey flip him onto the concrete, knock some sense back into his head.
So he's not on the beat on sight list.
No,
he's on the smack some sense back into
he
the
needs
list.
he needs some Rangers go hand-to-hand combat action to knock some sense back into him, fucking idiot.
It's like, well, why do we have to do it? Well, the women aren't doing it. We got to fill the quota. Come here.
If I'd have been there, I would have went into the battalion commander's office, flipped his desk over on him, and told him to unfuck himself because he's fucking up by the numbers.
Just like our new stunning and brave commander-in-chief. What can we expect this time around? A relevant comparison is the time Starbucks closed all its stores for one day to hold propaganda workshops on racism. Emphasis on propaganda.
Propaganda, yeah.
Because make no mistake, propaganda is exactly what will come out of this. The reporting by the press is precisely backwards. Austin is not removing extremism from the military's ranks. He is imposing it. Thank you. That's exactly what's going to happen.
That's exactly what's fucking happening.
When you try to, when the problem is clearly one side, or the fringes, but you want to punish everybody in the middle, guess what happens? You're going to force more people to those fringes and drive them farther and farther
That's
apart.
absolutely correct.
You're going to create more extremists, or you file off an edge and you just create a new one. That's what YouTube is doing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm a white guy, and all of a sudden I'm like a racist, and everyone, I did all this evil shit.
Yep.
Guess what? You do that enough, you are going to get a bunch of white guys packing up, and you're going to see some bad shit go down.
Yeah, as white dudes, we can all agree that what Timothy McVeigh did was evil. You indiscriminately bomb a building full of people, collapse it to the ground, men, women, and children alike. Okay, but you file off that edge. And you still want to keep the fight going because you can grift off of keeping the fight going.
Correct.
And now we've gotten to the point now where there's not enough evil in the world to go around, so now it's just straight white men. That's the new evil.
That's the new evil.
Yeah, this is not going to go anywhere good. This is what a dying paradigm looks like.
That's right. That's what's going to happen.
As Revolver recently explained, the US military has changed dramatically in the past few years. We were just talking about this. And most of the biggest shifts involve the DoD imposing left-wing ideology on the military. Promotion up the ranks now requires hitting racial diversity quotas. The new military welcomes with open arms mentally unwell transgender troops and fast-tracks women into demanding combat roles. But without actually teaching them combat. How do you think that's going to work out?
It's not going to work out.
It's not like you have to learn to fight in the military.
I literally watched dozens of quality soldiers never re-enlist. They did the one enlistment, and I'm like, hey, man, you want to re-enlist? We can really easy. He goes, no, I'm not doing it. What's her face got promoted? She didn't do shit. She was in charge of me. I'm like, fuck this. This is stupid.
Or maybe she did do shit, but it's not the kind of shit that you're used to doing, she did the shit that had to get wiped off the end of her NCO's dick.
No, she actually got promoted to E5.
When he was done with her.
Yeah, she got promoted to E5, even though, she barely made tape, barely passed PT. And this guy was a stud. Maxed his PT test, maxed his rifle, did everything right, and she got promoted over him.
Because he's a white dude.
I have no idea. I think it's because he's a white male. And he was up for reenlistment, and I'm like, hey man, let's reenlist. I'll get you E5. He goes, no, I'm good.
You know the absolute last place where political correctness should ever be in play? War.
That's absolutely correct. Because
I'm
second
sorry,
place is a body bag.
Yeah, no one gives a shit about your feelings.
That's right.
When you're at war.
Nope.
So why the hell are we training people who are supposed to go off to war to respect your feelings? That doesn't make any fucking sense.
It makes no sense. And here's another thing. I had this one major say, hey, Popp, you're an awesome soldier, but you're that kind of guy that we have to store in a glass cage, and the hammer next to it says, break glass in case of war. And I'm like, that's the wrong attitude. Everyone should be like fucking me. We're training to survive on the battlefield and impose the last 300 meters of this country's foreign policy.
Yeah, and instead it's like they're playing Risk with their children, and they want to let them win.
Yeah, listen, man, I can see a time if we really go nuts and we get into an actual shooting war with another country that knows what the fuck they're doing, I could see myself getting activated and doing fucking funerals, 6 days a week until the hostilities stop.
Yeah. And with our, lovely, stunning, and brave, duly elected former vice president currently in charge of our armed forces, that is a very real possibility. Because after 4 years of relative peace, with only an occasional relevant strike here and there, pulling us out of all these countries where we're not welcome and we're no longer needed.
Stopping the endless war.
Yeah. Biden is getting ready to ramp all that shit right back up. But, we got rid of a dictator because my mean tweets. Yeah, the dictator who only signed one executive order his entire first week in office.
Yep.
Biden's running on, 50? He hasn't even been in office a month?
He's getting up there.
Give me a frickin' break.
Yeah, he's an asshat.
Yeah, but Trump, evil Drumpfler was the problem. Yeah, smoke my ass. Doubtless many soldiers see all this unfolding and are baffled, horrified, or angry. Some may channel those opinions into politics, which is their right as Americans. Well, not anymore. Now, if you vote a Republican, you're not allowed to protect the president because you're a risk. You're an assassination risk. They're all still perfectly loyal to the United States, but that won't be enough for the new administration. No, because it's not a country anymore.
No.
It is a corporate globalist oligarchy, and they have a puppet in the White House.
He was installed.
During his confirmation hearings, Austin vowed to purge racists and extremists from the military. Well, you can start with the Democrats. Because that's what real racism and extremism look like. The Trump supporters run amok one time. It's an insurrection. Burning, looting, and murdering, and the panty-fascists riot almost every single night for 8 to 9 months straight. They're still rioting in Washington, D.C., screaming they're going to burn it all down.
And in Washington State.
Yeah.
In Oregon.
They annexed a 6 square block of Seattle, the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone, which was eventually renamed to the Occupied Protest because they realized that calling it an autonomous zone means that that's an actual insurrection. But even while it was the Chaz, they still made excuses for it. Oh, it's the summer of love. Yeah, never mind all the people that are getting gunned down and shot and killed who were all black, shot by people flying black power fists and BLM flags.
Yep.
None of that, according to the media, none of that ever happened. And if it did happen, if they did acknowledge it, well, it's because of those evil white infiltrators who got in there and they wanted to rabble, rouse, and cause problems.
The whiteies?
The absolute last problem that this country has on its list of things that actually affect its citizens is white supremacy.
That's right. That's not happening. It's just not happening. It's a total fabrication.
Useful idiots who claim they want the rich to pay their fair share, but toe the line of corporatist multinational billionaires, burning down small businesses.
Yep.
Yeah, apparently that's
Many
not
of
a
them are
problem
black
either,
owned too.
Yeah, many of them black owned. That's not a problem. No.
Ooh,
That's
crazy
not a problem.
gringo.
Over $2 billion in damages, dozens of people murdered. One of them, an 8-year-old child who was shot through the door through the rear door of a car just because they happened to be turning around in a parking lot across the street from a Wendy's that they had burned down the night before.
Yep.
Sequoia Turner, say her name. Ashley Babbitt, say her name. Fentanyl Floyd, fuck him. But guess whose name is on the football uniforms, the basketball uniforms?
Yep.
Yeah,
I wonder what the ratings were for the Super Bowl last night.
Probably shit. But, the far right, those evil straight white males, we're the problem.
That's right. We're the problem.
What might that look like? An exclusive report from Breitbart on Tuesday described how special forces were threatened with consequences for embracing extremist symbols like Pepe the Frog. A fucking cartoon.
Yeah. And that itself is also fabricated to be.
Yep.
That's such bullshit.
It's a LARP, dude. The left used to be about the edgy humor. Now they've become the equivalent of those housewives in the 1980s who had nothing better to do than pick at killer Santa movies.
Yeah, pretty much.
My gosh.
I don't know, man. The 82nd, the Ranger Regiment, Delta, the Special Forces groups, I bet you they're laughing their asses off at this. They're going to sign their name on the list that they attended. They're going to turn on the TV with some beers, order some pizza, and just chill.
Good.
Because
I hope that's what happens.
Absolutely stupid.
But it's okay, right? Because we got rid of a dictator.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, because that's how you get rid of dictators.
I remember
democratically voting them out of office, allegedly.
Right, allegedly. Like, we had a guy that would do the mandatory briefings that are supposed to be done like once a year when I was in 20th group, and he was an auctioneer, and he would literally give us 8 or 10 briefings in an hour and a half, and he'd be like, "I don't know, but you I hear that. Do you agree with me? All right." I mean, it was hilarious. I mean, if I could do that, we should do that as a comedy skit.
Oh, let's do it.
Because that was absolutely hilarious.
Comedy gold. Henry told us that if anyone gets caught wearing, buying, selling, affiliated with in any way any of those things on those lists, that the first thing he's going to do is chapter us out of the army. The second thing is, he's going to handle the investigation by sending it over to the DHS, the source said. He didn't quite outright say that we would be arrested. He used the word detained, which, as we know in the modern military,
you can't do that
with its bureaucratic power structure, could mean indefinitely.
No. I mean, if they did that to me, I would tie them in knots with their own bureaucracy. Because you can't fucking do that shit. What do we got here? Walking out in the street?
Yeah, you know.
Well, what's going on here, bro? You're waiting for the bus. All right,
yeah,
gotcha.
Go stand over there.
No, man. I mean, you just can't do shit like that. I mean, buying, selling. I mean, come on. Fuck off.
Yep. You are not allowed to think anything other than what we allow you to think now.
Correct.
But it's okay because we got rid of a dictator. Don't forget that. Don't forget that. Yeah.
Correct.
Evil Drumpfler, dictator. Step down willingly.
No, I remember
even though he's winning 2/3 of his court cases that are actually considered on merit.
Yeah. I mean, literally, I would hang out in the barracks. Guys would have rebel flags on the walls. Skull and crossbones everywhere. I mean, nobody cared. It wasn't a big deal.
Nope.
And now...
Because you're not there to cater to anyone's feelings.
Well, just like I told a lot of these guys that watch this show, go in to get your GI Bill and then get the fuck out and get on with your life. It's not worth it anymore.
No.
It's not worth
Definitely not. Especially with this shit going on.
Yeah, just literally you can enlist for 4 years.
Yeah. We want diversity of genitalia and skin color.
Yeah.
Nothing else. You think what we think, or now we're going to chapter your ass out.
Yeah. Just enlist for your 4 years. Keep your head down. Do the bare fucking minimum. And when you're done, go home and go to college and get on with your fucking life.
Because at this point in time, you are risking your neck and your future for a country that is no longer of the people, by the people, and for the people.
Yeah, well, they're going to detain you because you have some of the stuff that's on the list.
Oh, you had a Pepe meme on your Twitter.
Yeah.
All right, you're out.
That's
Sorry.
right.
Yeah, you can't protect the country anymore because you don't think how we want you to.
Yeah, no, that's bullshit.
Some of the imagery on the slides clearly refers to hate symbols such as a swastika or other Nazi-related symbols. However, also included is Pepe the Frog, an internet meme frequently posted by members of the political right to troll the political left, because it works so well.
It's hilarious.
The same article reveals that military leadership also warned soldiers against the OK sign, based on the hysterical liberal belief that it is a white nationalist symbol. You know, that was a 4chan troll job as well, right?
Yeah.
I love how satire becomes reality because the left is too stupid to know the difference. Wow. This isn't a crusade against extremism. It is a witch hunt for the slightest sign of public dissent from the radical ideological experiment the left is running on the military and the entire country.
Yep.
Defense Press Secretary John Kirby was inadvertently revealing when he recently remarked that there may be cultural issues we have to deal with here. Oh boy.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I mean, that is just. I have a hard time believing this is actually happening.
But it
so
is.
Fucking stupid.
And it's happening to the military that you devoted most of your life to.
Yes, up until this point, yeah, I did.
There is a frightening precedent for all of this, the darkest days of Mao's China. After the communist victory in the Chinese Civil War, Marshal Peng Duhai was the country's first defense minister. Although a committed communist, Peng was also a professional soldier committed to building a strong People's Liberation Army. Peng introduced a proper rank system, promoted skilled commanders rather than communist political apparatchiks, emphasized discipline and proper training, and opposed the growing personality cult centered on Mao Zedong. But his professionalism and independence were his downfall. Peng was isolated and then removed by Mao in 1959, who replaced him with the more firmly loyal Lin Biao. Where Peng was committed to the PLA's professionalism, Lin was the exact opposite. He undid many of Peng's useful reforms solely for political reasons. Rank was abolished as a capitalist artifact. Commanders were seen as too friendly to the USSR, insufficiently loyal to Mao were purged. Instead of focusing on military matters, about 40% of a soldier's time was spent on political matters, being indoctrinated in the arcana of Maoism.
Wow.
That's exactly what's going on. There's a lot more to this article, but we don't want to go too in-depth with it. We just kind of want to give you an idea. We will put a link to it in the description. But we are going down one hell of a cultural rabbit hole, and it's not leading to Wonderland.
No, it isn't. In fact, we're gonna have ourselves the red that thing that happened in China between 1960 and 1980.
Yeah.
It was like the Red Awakening. And somewhere like 30 million people died because of that. And they did put people in camps.
And the more they double down on this stuff, the more people are going to go to the fringes. And sooner or later...
More people are going to go to the right.
Sooner or later, that's all you're going to have. And then they're going to just run at each other and boom.
It's going to be boom. Well, listen, you take away the ballot, the only thing left is bullets. And they've done that effectively already.
And clearly the ballots don't mean anything anymore.
That's right.
Because you can just have your own ice cream social after, the restaurant is empty.
And you can, fiddle with the data. And the data goes to servers outside the country, which it's not supposed to do.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of bullshit.
As long as the media doesn't report on it, it's just a conspiracy
Totally
theory.
good. Yeah, it's disinformation and conspiracy theory.
Never mind the fact that over 90% of the media that you ingest, if not a full 100% at this point, is controlled and distributed by 6 companies.
Yeah.
Multinational corporations who have no loyalty to this country.
And I bet you a lot of those have ties to Soros.
He's probably got a controlling interest in quite a lot of them, or at least a sizable chunk of it through various subsidiaries and dummy corporations. That's how a lot of these assholes work.
Yep. Unbelievable.
Yep.
It's just I'm shocked that this is happening.
Yep. But remember, we can all sleep well. This ice cream social had to be fortified by the global elites
Yes.
to save our democracy.
For our own good.
Yes. In order to make sure that we maintain the integrity of our system, we had to hijack it and take it away from you. But it's okay, because you can trust us.
Yeah.
The ones who have all of our products manufactured with child and slave labor.
Never mind the suicide nets. You can see them on Google Earth.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. None of that is true. You know.
Yep.
I swear, man, if Democrats weren't such NIMBYist cocksuckers, people are like, oh, we're part of the Paris Climate Accords again. That's great. You know, that means sending all the jobs overseas and all the, you know, the environmental regulations that we have here that would actually reduce pollution and keep people safe. Yeah, they don't have those in China. So when you push all those jobs overseas, they're just creating more pollution over there.
Yep.
You know, you could spend an extra $100 for your shitty iPhone and, actually have some, standards in manufacturing where human rights are actually taken into account. But, cheap shit.
You could, actually give them a living wage.
Yep.
Instead of paying them pennies a day or pennies per hour. Having them in there, 80, 120-hour work weeks. It's slavery. It is.
I really wish people were capable of some self-reflection. You have obviously you spent 33 years in the Army. So what are your thoughts on this? Where do you think it's...
Well, it's going to blow up in their face. They're going to have a hard time with retention, and the people that do retain are going to be worthless. It's going to erode combat power, and, all the good leaders are going to leave.
Yeah. But it's okay because, we're going to be promoting people of stunning and brave color or stunning and brave vagina.
I'm sorry. Listen, either you can do the job, meet the standard, I don't care what color you are, or you can't.
Having a good public... Yeah, having a good public relations image doesn't mean anything if we're putting more people in body bags.
Well, unfortunately, that's going to happen.
But they'll probably cover that up too, just like the Pentagon tries to cover up the military's skyrocketing divorce and suicide rates.
Oh yeah, well they tell everyone the stats
only 5% of military couples get divorced.
Oh my
God.
God.
We totally believe that.
That was like leave it to Beaverland bullshit.
Wow.
And of all the people I know who were married in the military, I know 2 or 3 that stayed married are still married today.
You have a hard time, signing people up for the grinder. You have a hard time getting that meat for the grinder if they know up front that it's not going to give them anything good.
Yep. For instance, back in the day, you do 20 years, you're done, you can actually retire out of there and get on with your life and do something else.
Yeah, lifetime pension.
Yeah. Now they took that away. It's some crazy 401k thing. That's not worth it. Fuck that.
And when it's a 401k, guess who you're at the mercy of? The same hedge funders that the media and Biden's establishment are throwing all of their weight behind. Because it's okay when they fuck with the market.
Yeah.
But it's not okay when Reddit does it. Heaven forbid we actually have capitalism in a capitalist society.
I hope they keep doing...
I mean, they spent the last year making sure to cripple small businesses so that Amazon could raise its profit margin by literally 100%.
Yep. So anyway, this is absolutely just stupid. It's going to blow up in their faces.
It's vile and disgusting. I hope it does blow up in their faces.
It is.
Because inevitably what you're going to have is you're going to have a military that has poor leadership, no defensive skills, no offensive skills, and sooner or later they're going to be asked to go up against trained and organized militias organized by dudes who actually went through the military process when it was fucking worth something. That's not going to go well for you.
Nope.
So you can keep up your little hippy-trippy globalist touchy-feely nonsense, but in the end, you're going to get fucked with a steel dildo.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
And by then, we'll probably have Commander-in-Chief come swallow a pull my Harris.
Pull my Harris. That's funny.
I mean, she's emblematic for the new military now. An affirmative action hire who got to where she is by sucking dick, swallowing cum, and riding the cocktails of rich old white dudes.
It's a shame, but true.
And she only got picked because of the color of her skin.
Yeah,
just like your new commanding officer.
She had she tried to run for the actual position.
And Tulsi Gabbard neutered her with a fucking set of rusty gardening shears.
Yeah, I mean...
That's why she got voted out. They rigged it against her, too. Oh, I'm sorry. She was duly, unelected and voted out. Just like our dictator.
Our dictator.
No, that's his wife. And back in the day, I would have let her do that, too. I'm just saying.
Ah, man. We're going to hell in a handbasket.
Our first lady did porn. She didn't do porn. She posed a nude.
So what?
And considering feminists think that's a sign of being stunning and brave, why is it different when it's Melania Trump?
No, who cares? I
love how it's like, well, nudity is empowering. Unless it's the first lady, then it's disgusting and vile and it's pornography and it's wrong. Fuck off!
I sent you a picture of AOC's tits.
It was a deep fake, but it was a good one. I would hope that her tits don't have those kind of stretch marks on them.
Let's put it on the show.
Maybe.
Maybe. Might happen.
A little bit. Split second. Possibly. You never know.
All right.
We got to go inside and write a new episode for the week.
All right.
So in the meantime, if you're in the military, and you vote Republican or any other denomination, keep that shit to yourself until your 4 years is up.
Get the hell out.
And then join a militia.
Get the hell out.
Get the hell out.
Do your deal and get the hell out. It's not worth it anymore. It's not worth it.
And that's coming from a dude who devoted his life to it.
Yeah.
So think about that.
It's shameful. Yeah. If you're going in the military for a marketable skill, go in the Navy, do your 4 years, get the fuck out.
Amen.
And when they say, "Oh, we could really use a re-enlist," you say, "You can suck my dick. I'm not fucking. I got my GI Bill, and I'm not playing your little political games. Fuck off."
Why don't you call our duly elected vice president down here? She can suck my dick for you.
Amen.
She won't get a promotion out of it, but she will get a nice helping of throat yogurt.
It's so fucking nasty, but true.
It's nice and creamy like Greek. Extra protein.
That's so nasty.
A little salty.
Stop. Stop! I don't need to hear this stuff.
Drinking straw?